I am here today speaking with Brittany and Amber from the Lloydminster and Vermilion Equity. We're talking about the cookbook that you guys are spearheading, and it is a community cookbook, and you've put a call out for recipes. What can you tell me about that?
So I feel like food is a great equalizer. I mean, we all have to eat. And Street Team started by us handing out water and feeding people. So we want to have everybody from the community put in recipes and memories tied to the recipes if they'd so wish. And food just kind of brings people together. So we'd like to have all community members as on board if possible. Um, and at the end of having the cookbook, we would like to do a presentation and maybe even like a potluck style um, dinner to get everybody together. With Street Team, we cater to the unhoused and other vulnerable sectors. So a special part of this cookbook will be including their favorite meals, and then possibly so we can cook those favorite meals in the future. We're also going to include meals that we have cooked in the past, over the past 3-ish years.
So you do feed people that are unhoused or otherwise don't have a place to go for supper and lunch. What types of things do you normally provide to the people that need them?
So when we first started, it was a lot smaller. We fed a lot less people. I started with one little crock pot, and then before me, there was volunteers before I joined as well. Same similar thing. So back then, we could do a little bit more fancy meals. But now that we're feeding 70, sometimes even up to 100 people, a lot of times it's whatever we can do cheaper. And so like chilies, soups, barbecue. And then we actually have a family, the Bonner family, that comes one Sunday a month, and they go all out and do lots of baking, and they'll have like 7 crock pots on the go. So yeah, basically anything we can do cheaply and in the most amount. And then we also do lunches as well. So we hand out lunches for them to go, sandwiches, granola bars, fruit snacks, fruit, and we try to do balanced meals as possible.
Right. I didn't hear bannock or bullet soup in there. Are
Yeah.
there any sort of traditional meals served at all?
Yeah, we do bannock a lot. One of our volunteers, Heather, she is our bannock lady. When we do bigger events, like we did Street Fest, she spearheaded the bannock making, and I helped. Well, I don't know how much I helped, but I watched her do it, and yeah, so lots of bannock dogs. Yeah.
And I hope there's going to be a few bannock recipes in the cookbook as well.
I hope so. Yeah, we've already actually had a few people mention that that was their favorite meal, so that would be great to have.
So with the cookbook, how long are you going to be gathering the recipes for? And like, are you hoping to get it a certain size, or do you need a certain number of pages, or is it just as you collect the recipes, that's what it'll be?
Yeah, so I'd like to get as many as possible. I'm aiming to have them in by August 26th, if possible. But I don't know how big or how small this is going to be. So yeah, we're kind of playing it by ear to see. But yeah.
As far as getting the book published, what's the timeline? Is it sort of going to be out there for Christmas, that kind of thing, or will it be sooner?
Yeah, it's so I guess we have to see how many recipes we get in, and then see what printing is like, and then binding. We're going to maybe reach out to a few different businesses around town and see if they'll work with us for that. So, uh, yeah, it'll kind of depend on that, but I would definitely like to have it by or before Christmas.
All right. I don't know, Brittany, if you can speak to this or perhaps Amber. You were mentioning about how the fundraising, you guys are always short of funding. And I think that a lot of frontline agencies are like that. And when you speak to different levels of government, they're like, oh, well, they do that, or they do that. Is there, a hope that someday there will be a steady funding stream for the projects that you undertake? I know they do grants as well, but obviously more would be good, right?
Yeah, I mean, more is always would always be good. And this kind of initiative is kind of a way to network in a way that's a little bit more lighthearted, a little bit more like meeting people as people. Maybe we can bridge some communication, um, and yeah, so we're always kind of coming up with different ways to fundraise, and this is one of them. We have applied for and received grants. We've partnered with few different businesses in town who have made donations. But yeah, it would always be great to have more. We are doing okay right now, but yeah, so it would be great to continue to grow.
All right. Well, Brittany, those are my only questions for you. Is there anything that you would like to add at all that I may have not asked?
Yeah, so if anyone's interested in sending a recipe, trying to aim for August 26th, and you can email Brittany, Brittney, at lvefoundation.com, or you can check us out at the LVE Facebook page.
All right. Well, Brittany and Amber, thank you so much for your time. Amber, I know you didn't say much. You were here for backup, but I appreciate you taking the time to be here with us. Have a great day.
Thank
Thanks, you too.
you.